All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. 10 a.m., August 5th. Dog days of summer starting to creep in. The games are starting to get more intense. Welcome to Baseball and Coffee. Thanks for hanging with me today. We're still on the Mountain Blend from Pincrest, California, courtesy of my buddy from college, Tristan Bess. This coffee's very good. I'm probably going to just keep rocking it until it's all gone. It's delicious, honestly. Made myself a lot of coffee today because I do not sleep anymore since my 2-year-old just refuses to sleep for more than an hour and a half straight. But that's neither here nor there, and nobody really cares. So let's jump into it today as we go ahead and we check out the standings coming off of last night. Blue Jays romped in Colorado. They are maintaining their 3-game lead, but now it's on the Red Sox. Red Sox also won. They've won 6 in a row. We're going to talk about them a little bit at the top. Yankees lose. We're going to talk about them, unfortunately, a little bit later. They're 5.5 back out of the division lead now. Sky's falling a little bit, but still plenty of time. Realistically, there's about 8 weeks left in the season, so let's not freak out. But we're gonna watch some unfortunate Yankee stuff as well. Tigers 8 up on Cleveland, who beat the Mets last night in a pretty fun game, 10-inning game. Royals 9.5 back. Outside looking in. Houston 3 up on Seattle. Both teams won last night, as did Texas, who's in the fight as well. Phillies now 1.5 up on the Mets, as they had an electric game last night. We're also going to check that right off the jump. Milwaukee 3-game lead now on the Cubbies. Milwaukee's won 4 in a row. Cubs scuffling a bit, kind of spinning their tires. Don't let Milwaukee run away with this thing. I'd be surprised if they did, but you never know. They have won the division a lot of years recently. All the 3 big teams in the NL West lost last night, so the Dodgers stay 3 up on the Padres. They have the Cardinals again tonight. Let's check these wild card standings. If it ended today, it would be the Red Sox in the top spot with the Yankees and the Mariners right behind them. Rangers 1.5 out, Cleveland 2.5 out, Kansas City 4 out, and then it's a stretch for anybody else to be in it. In the National League, it would be the Cubs, and then the Mets and the Padres, with the Reds 3 out. I still like the Reds' chances of shaking this up. Especially if they can get Hunter Green back. They have a lot of good pitching. Honestly, their rotation's actually pretty solid, so I'd be curious to see if they can get back in it, but only time will tell. So, okay, what do we have on the notes today on the agenda? I do feel like momentum has shifted a lot, particularly with this Red Sox team. If we click on the Red Sox this year, they are in the midst of this series versus the Royals. They got Crochet on the mound tonight. They're going to keep the momentum going, looking for their 7th straight win. They had won 11 in a row, or 10 or 11 in a row right before the break, so they've been really hot for a while now. And they've also been unstoppable at home, 38-21 at Fenway. When you watch the games right now, it's a bit of a zoo at Fenway, which is great. That's the way it should be. It should feel like a frat party. It should feel like the crowd is another player on the field for the Sox. And I did notice, coming off of 2020, playing in empty stadiums, especially like Yankee Stadium or Fenway. I mean, and then on the flip side, when the fans were let back in 21. You could feel a huge difference just in the atmosphere of the game and actually in the functionality of the way the game is played. And I was thinking about this a little bit yesterday when we were talking about Edward Cabrera, and some other pitchers. It's like nowadays everything wants to be measured. They want to assign a stuff plus number to your pitching arsenal. They want to look at your strikeout rate, your walk rate, your exit velocity. All these metrics. But I also feel like one of the most pivotal metrics to consider when looking at a player is their mentality. Like, are they able to perform when the temperature gets hot? And this is the time of year where the temperature gets hot. And I don't mean physically the temperature. I mean the tension in the ballpark, in these big, loud, hostile environments like Fenway Park, Dodger Stadium, Yankee Stadium, Baltimore, a dome stadium like Milwaukee. I mean, the ballparks start to get hostile this time of the year because this is when stuff's on the line. It's only, like I said, 8 weeks left. This is the big push. So I guess what we're going to start with today is we're going to get into a couple big things on the Red Sox. And the first guy I want to take a peek at, and I'll switch over in a second once I load him up, is kind of an unsung player on the Red Sox that maybe a lot of people don't really understand how good this guy is as an all-around player, but it is Mr. Willy Abreu. Now, I was in camp with the Sox this year, and this guy had like an illness, so he wasn't really around much. But I knew he was basically all but guaranteed that starting right field job when he came back, and a lot of it was on strength of his defense. And that has continued to shine this year. As you can see down here, his outs above average, he's in the 95th percentile. He's got a bazooka from the outfield, 94.2. Tends to be a little reckless with the arm. That's why the arm value is at neutral. But on top of that, this year, he's really been hitting. Currently, he's hitting 249 with an 800 OPS. He's got 20 homers, adds a few bags, plays with an edge. He's only 26 years old. There's a lot to like about this guy. And last night, he impacted the game really well because Roman Anthony went down. And that led to Willy having to go in there and play in the game. So Roman Anthony just felt something weird. And then Abreu had to find out 5 minutes before that he was in the game. He ended up having a big impact. So let's go over to this Red Sox game. Red Sox Royals. And first, let's watch Mr. Willy Abreu's 4 at-bats, and then let's watch him play the field a little bit. So this first at-bat, he's going to draw a walk off Bailey Falter. And this is a spot where, I mean, he's an aggressive hitter, but this is a spot where sometimes being too aggressive can really hurt you. You got no outs, first and third. The pitcher's not going to try to give in here. He's going to try to, there's a little shot of Roman getting hurt and leaving. But Abreu does a good job. He waits for his pitch, takes a good pass at that 2-0 right there. Falter has a very good vertical on his fastball. He's another guy. This is kind of what makes him him. He's got crazy extension. Hold on. I got the eraser here. He's got 7.3 inches of extension, which means he's releasing the ball very, very close to home plate. And on top of that, he's got the 18.6 vert. So the fastball is a huge part of his game. And obviously, you can see Willy's a little late and slow on that first one.
The lefty's 2-1.
Slider in the middle. Probably a pitch he could have hit. You can see by that face that he feels like he should have hit that. So it gets to a 2-2 count. He's going to end up drawing a walk here. Kind of a non-competitive pitch down. No. Kind of an amazing take on a slider here. Must have known he was going to go to the slider or something, because that ball's a strike for, I don't know, 55 feet, 56 feet, something like that. So Abreu draws a walk in that first inning. And then he's going to get a single in this at-bat. Let's see how this goes. Already 5-0 Sox, as they got a huge inning after that walk. That led to a big inning. So fastball, fastball. I do feel like he has been on the slider with the way he took that slider. Yeah, good job getting down, taking it with him. 108.6, so he's got elite arm strength. He also hits the crap out of the ball. And then this one will just go right to here. This is a fly out on a curveball. Also hits this ball hard. He's very good at getting in his legs. Honestly, anywhere but Fenway, this ball might be gone. Damn, nice play out there. How far is that? How far is this ball hit? It says 401, so 401, and it's nothing but an out. But let's watch his swing here and watch him get in his legs and get under this low pitch. It's one of the first lessons I was taught by my, I see the Sox fans think it's a homer. It's one of the first lessons I was taught by my dad. Obviously, I wasn't a very good hitter growing up. I was okay, but one of the things was you don't want to just dip your bat angle. You want to bend your knees to go meet the ball down there. I guess Mickey Mantle was a big user of this technique, and see what he does there, going down to meet it. That allows you to keep your swing a bit more level, even though you're reaching down for a low pitch. So anyway, that's a nice swing there, and then he has one more at bat where he gets a hit. All lefty in this game, facing Sammy Long. This guy's got a nice breaking ball. Houston with the heater there. For some reason, they don't stick with the heater. They go to the curveball. Let's see if Willy goes down for it again. Just good at riding it out, though, so just your ho-hum. Didn't know if you're playing until a couple minutes before the game. And you go out there and get 2 hits and a walk and really contribute offensively. But more importantly, defensively, There was a throw to the plate here on this play right here. Bobby Witt up. Game's starting to get dicey. Whitlock had to come in this game. Red Sox had been winning. But he puts an end to that here with a beautiful throw to the plate. Abreu to Connor Wong, who hangs in there. Kind of kills the Royals rally. And that kind of put this game on ice as Chapman was able to come in. Here's the replay. You can see how he does a really good job getting behind this ball. Let's check the high home. Let's see if they had any real reason to send here. Because, like I said, Abreu's known for having a good arm. Pretty shallow. He has it before he ever touches third. Yeah, they probably should have held him up here. But that's another way you can impact the game with your arm. And sometimes as a pitcher, like you're out there and the inning's kind of falling apart, and you're just like, can somebody just hit the ball at somebody? Or can somebody just make a play for me? And the game was slipping away a little bit from the Sox here, but Willy Abreu comes through with a huge play and guns him down at the plate. And I do think he's another fun guy to maybe go take a peek at him throwing some guys out. He's got a really good arm, so let's see what we can find here. Leaderboards. Arm value. And he's right around 0, but yeah, Willy Abreu. Boop. A lot of people just not running on him this year. I see a lot of holds here. Here's an out. All right, here's going to be a throw to third. Let's check it out. Hunter Dobbins on the mound.
Got jammed, and he's strong enough to get that past the dive of the first baseman Gonzalez to third base.
Yeah, he had to charge a long way to make this play. And I don't think Newtbar thought there was any shot he was getting thrown out on this. Look at how far Abreu had to run on this ball. This is another part of throwing guys out, is how quickly you can get to the ball and stay in stride. Quan, we've seen Quan be very good at this. Rafaela, a lot of the guys that we've looked at that are good at throwing. Julio Rodriguez, they're very good at getting to the ball quickly and maintaining their feet, in the right way. Also, that was maybe not such a good send to third by my old AA manager, Pop Warner. So, it's kind of funny. All right, so that's all he's done in terms of throwing guys out this year. But I want to take a look. So those are the 2 throwouts this year. He also raked yesterday and did a nice job. Red Sox have been a bit unstoppable. They've been absolutely ridiculous at home. Maybe we should watch Chapman's 9th inning. I feel like that was pretty dominant. Yeah, see, for some reason my player breakdown windows just aren't working. I don't know what it is. Maybe if I reset all options on the chart here, we can maybe get up. There we go. All right. I don't know. I thought about watching all of Bello's start because it was a pretty damn good start. But now I'm kind of tempted to watch Chapman. Sinker, splitter, slider. All right, yeah. Let's quickly jump in and watch Chapman.
Now Chapman.
He's doing such a better job of throwing strikes this year. This has been another big factor for the Red Sox. They really have that demon at the end of the game that's coming in that nobody wants to see. And really, this is Aroldis kind of getting back to who he's been most of his career, which is, the scariest pitcher in the league. But now he's throwing strikes at the best rate of his career. So it's just awesome to see a guy, who's already... Wow, that pitch was gross. See a guy who's already been unbelievable, but kind of taking steps forward at age 37. Man, this slider... This thing took off. First of all, it has a ton of lift, so this pitch goes straight right, but let's see how this ball catches. Yeah, I mean, he de-helmets the pass squash there. And he's going to get a fly out here on a split from Garcia. I mean, just trying to make contact. That's survival mode swing, and then he's going to finish this this game out facing Salvador Perez, who's actually a guy who, if people don't remember, he had a line drive off Chapman's face probably about 12 years ago during spring training. So I wonder if he thinks about that when he's facing him. Yeah, it looks like they know each other. They're talking to each other a little bit. Let's see what we can see from Chapman's delivery. I just like to see his enthusiasm. He's having as much fun as he's ever had, I think, playing this year. So, yep, there's Chapman. Red Sox are rolling 6 in a row. Crochet on the mound, doing their thing. They're kind of grabbing the momentum away from the Yankees in the AL East. And another team who's threatening to grab the momentum away from their New York counterpart is the Phillies. Phillies had a bonkers game last night at the bank. And if you've ever been to Citizens Bank Park in a big game situation, playoff game, down the stretch situation, there's just no way around it. Like, it's raucous. Like, it's different than other places, that's for sure. So it was the Phillies and the Orioles last night. And we have to watch Kyle Schwarber as he hits 2 Mammo homers. But we also have to watch Bader. So Bader gets traded over there from the Twins. This was my teammate last year, fellow New Yorker. He's there for defense. But this has also been probably his best year hitting. And he announced his presence with authority with this home run to break the tie in yesterday's game.
And a high fly ball to
it's actually a really good pitch. Not a pitch that Harrison hits very often. But he crushes this ball. 107.3, 37. One of the most physically fit, dedicated athletes I've played with. Just a guy who loves to compete. Obviously, he's known for his defense, but that means he's never stopped working on that hitting. I've always felt like in his swing, if you can see this move here, he kind of has a lot going on in the load, and I feel like sometimes that holds him back a little bit. I mean, he's bringing through it with a lot. He's bringing through it with a lot of thunder, but I always felt like that kind of slows his timing down a bit. Also, very flat swing path, so occasionally he has to really use the legs a la Willy Abreu that we saw earlier to kind of meet the ball when it's low or stand up a little taller when the ball's high. So I've seen him get under a lot of balls. But when he connects, he's got as much pop as anybody, really. So for a little bit there, it looked like he was going to be the player of the game, but then he got completely overshadowed by Schwarber, the Schwarbino, who goes 39 and 40, and the first home run's just absurd. So let's just go ahead and watch that.
Chance at maybe catching Ryan.
And oh my God!
Does this ball even land? They get all the way up there?
Oh my!
This hits it over everything. 111 and 35. Estimated 427, but that just feels light to me. You know, we talked a lot about complete players yesterday, and those are my favorite types of players. But if you're not going to be a complete player, if you're going to be a one-dimensional guy, do it like Kyle Schwarber. Hit absolute nukes. Never chase out of the zone. Be a great teammate. Be a threat every time you're at the plate. Because that's exactly what he does. And this is that grand slam. I mean, kind of a carbon copy swing of the first one. I actually think he probably gets this ball off the end. Only hits at 100.5. And this pitch was 23 verts. This is a crazy fastball by Yaramil Geraldo, who actually I think might have been on the Toros last year for a little bit. But Schwarber, it's just so easy for him, and it's amazing how guys continue to throw him four-seam fastballs, and he's just always on the fastball. Granted, he can hit the other pitches, but at the same time, channels from content ID
with chance of MVP in the background as he took that swing.
I think we're still rolling.
He launches his second home run of the night.
I think people just keep throwing this guy fastballs. I don't really understand it. Like, he just cleans them out every time. God, it's so simple. It's just got thunder in those hands, man. It's ridiculous. Guess we got to check back up on Schwarber on the StatCast, because it's just crazy, man. Yeah. 100th percentile now in batting value. 100th percentile in hard hit. I mean, he's hitting the ball hard 61.1% of his balls in play this year. That's absurd. And I guarantee you his run value on fastballs is going to be good. I mean, Jesus, 24 run value on four seams and 10 on sinkers. the league needs to learn. I know that everybody wants to throw their fastball. I would not throw any fastballs to Schwarber until further notice. 24 on fastballs? He's got a 764 slug percentage on four-seamers, 750 on sinkers. He's got basically a 500 expected weighted on base average on fastballs this year. I don't understand why people keep throwing him fastballs. And I used to try to get him off the fastball. I'd be like, here's the slider, here's the changeup, here's the slider, here's the cutter, here's the changeup, here's the slider. And I'll try to sneak one fastball by and he'd still be on time. But people are not learning. And he's been a huge reason why the Phillies are surging. They are now, what are they now? They are now a game and a half up, 2.5 up on the Metros. Let's see. I know we looked at it already, but I'm tired today. 1.5 up. So it's going to be a battle the whole way. I mean, the Mets are having a hard time with their starting pitching. But if Schwarber's going to hit like this, you know, it's not going to be easy. It's really, really not. And it's just getting to an extreme level now. He's got 40 homers. He's not even at 500 plate appearances yet. 975 OPS and surging. And if you look at this spray chart, I mean, some of these are way back there.
There are pitches.
See this Coors Field nuke.
Oh.
See what?
That wasn't necessarily up to the zone, but
I hit the third deck. I played there for 7 years. Only saw about maybe 6 or 7 balls hit the third deck. Let's see this one.
He's now retired 7
This is
in a
a
row.
sailor.
Schwarber hammers this deep to right.
Again, forcing
That thing
fastball.
is long gone.
What are we doing? Can't believe that this guy got non-tendered in his career. Can't believe it.
And Schwarber belts one to center field. This one is
Another
deep.
four-seam
This
fastball.
one
A lot of these are
is
left on left.
And right.
So that's him to center. Let's see if there's something awesome to left center.
Henry Davis catches. Henry
Another left on
Rodriguez
left.
went on the injured list today. And
Another
Schwarber
fastball.
drives one deep to left.
I don't know. I'd make him beat me on
center
something
field.
else.
Look
That would be my my
at
thought
this
process if I'm
man
facing
from
Schwarber
the left side,
right now.
deep
Just
over the left center
beat me on
field
something
wall.
else.
Kyle Schwarber's
So Phillies are rolling. Schwarber's a big part of it. They also have excellent starting pitching, and that's the thing I'm most worried about the Mets about, is they don't have starting pitching. So it does seem like the momentum is shifting both to the Red Sox and to the Phillies in the AL East and the NL East respectively. If anybody's in the chat, does anybody think that the Red Sox can win the division AL East? Do they think that they can catch Toronto and be the team at the end of the day? And how are we feeling about that Phillies-Mets race? Are the Phillies primed to open that up? Because the Mets starting pitching is starting to become a little bit of a concern. Last night, Manaea gives up, I think, 5 runs in the 6th after he was cruising through 5. So I think they've only had one pitcher make it through 6 innings, and that's David Peterson, in like a month. So that's what I'm a little worried about. NL East is the Mets starting pitching, and the Phillies are surging, and I think Schwarber might go to another place this year. He could easily get close to 60 homers. As he's really carrying them now. Really, the marriage of Kyle Schwarber and Long, the hitting coach over there, seems to be spot on. All right, so now we have to go look at, unfortunately, at some of the negative stuff. We have to go look at this Yankees game. Yankees-Rangers last night. Deep in the heart of Texas. Yankees had the lead, immediately gave it back. Fried had kind of an up and down game. He battled hard through 105 pitches to get through 5 innings. So he battled hard. Then they rolled out this brand new bullpen, the super bullpen. Weaver does his job. Doval does his job. Bednar does his job. And then Devin ends up getting clipped by Jock Peterson on a 4-pitch at bat. So let's see how we got clipped here. Forcing up away.
A 256 on base average. Slugging.
Change up away. 2-0.
Williams.
Fastball.
Foul away, strike one.
One thing about Jock you got to respect. He's got one thing on his mind. I mean, look at this follow through. Look where he ends up on an outside pitch. Let me watch this swing again. Huge leg kick. One thing on his mind, and that's going deep. I love that follow through, and then he actually does go deep here. This time on a changeup. Let's see if this pitch pops in. That's been the mistake lately. Yeah, same thing as it's been. When he makes a mistake, this is the one area of the zone, especially the lefties, he can't go to. He cannot miss down in. He needs the ball fading to the outside corner, really anywhere over here.
Here's a 2-1. And he hits that
And
ball
he pulls
well.
it
Deep
down
out to
in.
right,
Jock
and
back
it's
spins it to
gone.
right. And he's had a really, really tough year. But he was juiced on this one. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. Let's see Jock. Let's see how he looks on contact. Said some choice words there. Don't bleep with me. I like to watch this guy hit. I've been facing this guy a long time. From like a 5-tool player to pretty much just a home run crusher at this point. It's just fun to watch guys who have one intent at the plate. And that's him. He's trying to go deep. And you can see he's having probably one of the toughest years of anybody's ever had, really. He's way down here. Ex-Woba at 308. I mean, -12 in batting value. He's hitting 132 with 3 homers and a 503 OPS. And that comes off last year where he hit a 908 OPS. So he's had a tough go. Been hurt for a while. Hasn't been able to impact the team like he wanted to. But that swing felt really good last night. So that tied it up. Which then brought us to... the bottom of the 10th. So the Yankees, of course, end up doing this in the big moment in the top of the 10th. Danny Coulomb, which is one of the guys I thought would make an impact in the trade deadline. He got traded over there from Minnesota. Gets a huge double play in a big spot to keep the game tied. And that sets us up for this 9th inning. So Jake Bird comes in. Starts off really good. This is only his second outing as a Yankee. Starts off really good with a... Jeez, what a bad swing by Semien with the strikeout of Semien. I mean, this isn't a sword. I don't know what this is. This is I'm getting out of the way and swinging at the same time swing. Oh my God. Yeah. You won't see many big league swings like that. Then he comes and gets this ground out by Adolis on a sweeper.
Hard to cover the 2-1 pitch. There's a swing and a bouncer. Third base.
Chopper, McMahon. Nice easy play. And they're, wow, terrible throw, but good pick. And now they're 1 out away from extending it to the 11th. Interestingly, now Boone and the Yankees opt to walk Wyatt Langford. Now, what had Wyatt Langford done in this game? He had gone 2 for 3 with 2 walks, so he's seeing it well. He hit this double off Max Fried in the first on a cutter.
And that ball's hit hard.
He's a tough guy to get in on. He's got little short little arms. So he hit that, and then he drew a walk, and then he also got this hit off Fried.
Langford breaks his bat. Flares
Not a great contact, but again, tough guy to get in on. Then he got a strikeout versus Bednar. Just trying to figure out whether this was the right decision or not.
Big man by McMahon now. The 1-2 pitch, and there is a
Punched him with a split, and then they end up intentionally walking him in favor of facing Josh Young, who in this game had a walk, and then he had this single.
2-2. And this one lined up the middle. That's a base hit.
Good swing, and then he ends up striking out.
Young, meanwhile, the 1-2 pitch, and he takes.
And then a ground out. So he had been 1 for 3 with a walk, and Langford had been 2 for 3 with 2 walks. Okay, so they were making the decision between these two guys, Langford and Young, of who they're going to let face. Now, I'm sure they have internal metrics on the matchup here, and Jake Bird's matchup metrics that the Yankees had must have favored the Yankees in a matchup more versus Josh Young. But right now, it feels like every button that the Yankees are pushing just goes wrong. So let's watch this at-bat.
Langford, so he puts him on. The pitch to Young. And that
Jake Bird, front door sweeper.
pitch on the way, and that's way
This time a
outside.
sweeper that is a pretty easy take because it's already trending away too early. So Young doesn't really have to do much. And then we're going to get a sinker here and the game's going to end.
1-1. And there's a swing and a fly ball.
A little bit impressed that he beat him to the spot here. I do think he's probably anticipating a lot of breaking balls in this at bat, and he did get 2 right off the gate. So he got okay, so let's look at this. So he got the first breaking ball was a front door, and it kind of ended up here, which means it started way inside, right? The second one started down here and ended up getting pulled way off the plate. So my thinking is, the hitter's thinking, anything middle away, I gotta let it go. And anything middle in, I gotta fire. Whether it's a fastball or whether it's a sweeper, I don't know, but I gotta fire. And I think the thing that he does really well here is he just turns really quickly with his swing, and that's why he's able to beat basically a 96-mile-an-hour ball to the spot. Actually got a pretty good metric on it, had good drop, didn't have enough run, I guess. But man, Josh Young, he really spins on this quick. Nice tall stance. And that's one thing that you can be pretty good at when you don't take as big a stride. The shorter the stride you have, the more efficiently you can rotate in a stacked position. Also, he keeps that hand in nicely. He's got that big follow-through finish where he smacks the bat on his back. Well, that's the ball game. Yankees lose again. Big win for Texas as they're trying to hang in there in the AL West. But now the Yankees are falling a little bit further behind. The Red Sox, so we can go back to the standings here. Yankees are now 60-53, 5.5 back in the divisional race, and in the wild card, they're in there right now. They'd be the second wild card, but they're only 1.5 games up on the team they're playing, Texas, right now. So, yes, there's 8 weeks left, and this is probably their worst stretch of the season, but they definitely need to turn it around. It's getting a little dicey in New York for both the Mets and the Yankees, and obviously those are the 2 teams I watch the most. But you know, I think sometimes you'd rather peak at a later. If I was on the inside, I'd be saying to myself, okay, so we're playing like shit right now, playing lousy right now. That's okay. Let's find our stride. Let's get our momentum back. Let's make sure we get our foot in the door for the playoffs, and then maybe we'll peak at the right time. Because right now this is pretty tough. All right, good. Now we have a good question in the chat, so I'll go to the chat real quick from my boy Ray. Adam, what do you think of teacher man hitting technique after decades of kids being taught to swing down? I think the teacher man hitting technique is perfect for Aaron Judge and perfect for maybe Kerry Carpenter and some guys, because what I do think it does is it kind of gets you to be quick with your launch point. Like, you can get to the ball really quickly, and I think it cuts down a little bit on the swing length, which is a huge factor in terms of seeing the ball for a longer period of time, making better swing decisions, and also being able to snap that bat head out there and hit pull side homers. But I also think it's a misnomer and bad advice for just anybody to do it. A lot of the guys that I've been breaking down that are the best hitters, they have more than one swing in their bag, and they don't have enough pop, frankly, to do the teacher man swing. I wonder if I can find any teacher man stuff. Teacher man. We can just go here. Yeah, the snap and tilt. So he wants you to kind of like lean back and just snap. And you can see Judge kind of working those drills, and I think it's perfect for Aaron because, again, his whole thing is just, if I can be quick to the ball and just touch it, I don't even have to be perfect all the time with my barrel, and I'm still going to do a lot of damage. It's this guy, Richard Schenk, who calls himself Teacher Man. I'm not going to watch all his videos, but it's just like he does like a little snap move. I wish there was like a quick one I could maybe show. But it's just kind of absurd that this guy has become, like a high-level hitting coach, I guess, hitting guru. I mean, it's not really designed for average, this swing. It's more so designed, because I'm like trying to look at this guy a little bit on here. He's got 201 followers on YouTube, so he's doing something right, right? 201K. I'll look for maybe like a quicker video, maybe like a reel. Something I can watch. No, I'm not gonna log in. I don't wanna sign up for any of this. So he has some evidence from history. He likes to show, Barry Bonds or Nelson Cruz. And I think I'm not going to poo-poo everything that he's talking about. I just think be selective with this. You have to have power, in my mind, for this approach to work and for it to make sense. But that was a good question in the chat. Because I don't know, if you know about Teacher Man, you know that it's definitely a controversial approach at this point. All right, let's go get back into my notes. So talking about the Yankees is a little bit depressing right now. All right, let's talk about the kid Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette, I had the pleasure of being on the Rockies when his dad, Dante, was our hitting coach. Now, what year could have that been? I don't know, somewhere around 13, 14, something like that. And Bo was a young kid, and he would travel a lot with the team. He would come with the team. He would take grounders at short with Tulo. He would hit with us on the field. Already you could see he had an awesome swing, very athletic swing. And then, sure enough, he gets to the big leagues pretty quickly. And I ended up facing him a lot. So I thought it was pretty cool that he got to go back to Coors Field last night and have a big game. So we'll definitely watch his at-bats. Last night he had 2 homers in Coors, a place that he used to go as like a 14-year-old and definitely as a kid to watch his old man play. I'm assuming he was alive at that point. But you look at him, his big thing is hits, just getting hits. He doesn't walk a ton, really hardly at all. But he's led the big leagues in hits 2 times, and he's leading it right now. He's got 141 hits so far through 111 games. One thing that I love about Bo Bichette is he has an excellent 2-strike approach, where he stops lifting he goes huge leg kick early to kind of get his power swing off, and then he's really good at just shortening up with 2 strikes and putting the ball in play. As you can see by his spray chart, his singles are kind of all over the field. His power's all pull side, but his singles are all over the field, and a lot of that's that 2-strike approach. That's what's giving him all of those extra hits. Now, his defense kind of stinks, and he's not fast anymore, and he might have to move off short at some point, but his kick can really hit. Let's see what he's hitting on this year. Currently hitting .299 with 809 OPS. Let's see what he's hitting this year. He's hitting changeups, curveballs, sinkers, sliders. He's actually doing fine against every pitch type. And he's doing awesome in terms of expected batting average. His speed has really declined. I wonder if he's hurt. I wonder how that's going to affect him in free agency. I know free agency is coming up for him. They're going to look at a lot of these metrics, like your chase rate, your speed, physical type of markers to see how a guy's going to age. That might hold him down a little bit. But he's been a really productive hitter. I'd say him and Vladdy have always kind of been considered the core of the Blue Jays. All right, so let's head over and watch Bo Bichette versus the Rock Show last night. As they kicked the crap out of the Rockies. Bo Bichette 3 for 6. So we'll just watch his hits.
And that's a base hit through the right.
There's a base hit again, taking his hit to right. This is pre 2 strikes. This is an RBI knock. This is pre 2 strikes. Really smooth strike there by Luke's, but you can see. Bo's got a huge move. Look at that leg kick. He's closed off, toe up. Look at that leg kick. That's the leg kick that he likes to go with before 2 strikes. He gets beat here, but the bat path is nice. Smokes it through the other side at 101. And then we're gonna watch the 2 homers, and we'll just watch the whole at bats of the homers. He likes to get going real early with that leg kick. That's ball 1 below the zone.
One of my favorite,
and that's the type of swing you'll see early. It's crazy for a guy to lead the big league in hits and expected batting average taking this kind of swing, but that's why I said you have to really watch this guy to appreciate it, because, I mean, this is a wild hack. You would not think this guy with that swing would be a batting average guy, but he is. But he's also a damaged guy. Doesn't change it, doesn't need to change it, because it's not 2 strikes yet. But perfect Coors Field homer, you just get it up in the air to left, 97, 8, 36, and that's his first career homer. at Coors, a place that I saw him hit homers as a 14-year-old in BP, so it's got to be pretty cool for him. Then he's going to get this second home run on an ambush Johnson off this guy Palmquist.
A 2-run home run, 2 out of 4. And this is hit to
This one he hit a lot better. 102 to center, actually gets out by a lot, so that's another Coors Field special, especially in an hot August night in Colorado. Ball's going to fly. Yeah, just such a good place to hit. You know, maybe his legs are looking a little thick. Maybe that's slowing him down. All right, let's see if we can find some 2 strikes situations here, because with 2 strikes, he tends to keep the foot down. All right, I'm just going to watch this at bat just to see. This is the 2-strike approach. Yep, now there's no leg kick. All right, so let's get into this from the beginning. We saw the leg kick with no... So this is the same at bat. Watch the leg kick. Huge.
You know what he does, Spilly?
So pre-2 strikes, he goes with a huge move to try to do damage. And he did do damage doing this move twice yesterday. But then you see Bo with his 2-strike approach, and all of a sudden, this knee doesn't come up. His foot doesn't move. It stays down. He just throws the hands. That's how he's able to foul that off. That's how he's able to not strike out a lot and buy himself some extra hits. So Bellinger is a guy with a great 2-strike approach. Bichette's a guy with a great 2-strike approach. And as a pitcher, like, this kind of has fallen out of vogue. Like, it's not stylish anymore. You don't see a lot of people doing it. But I always feel like this is a great approach by a hitter. It's just, you know, whatever you might have done to get ahead of him, it's just not going to work again. You know, because now he's a different hitter. Now he's just trying to put the ball in play. So a lot of times you think you're going to punch this guy out because he's going to be some wild hacker, and he's not. He's got two different approaches, and he can do it, and I think other guys can do it. So if I was a kid, if I was going to get something out of this, I would say, you know, don't be afraid to test drive a 2-strike approach, something that's a little more simple, something that helps you put the ball in play more. And if you need to, if you need to go deep, you know, then maybe you need to generate it with more of a leg kick, like you're not an Aaron Judge or a Paul Goldschmidt or a guy who can do very little and go pole to pole. You know, Kyle Schwarber. You need to create it a little bit. Then maybe you do that a little bit, you know, ahead of time. But then with 2 strikes, you still find a way to be athletic, keep the ball in play, and be competitive. We do have a question. Have I ever smacked it out of Coors? Man, I used to rake, but only in BP. My hitting game really fell apart when I stopped hitting all through college and into the minor leagues. But in BP, I used to hit some second deck shots in Coors. I definitely had the power. I mean, I'm a big dude, but then I get in the box, and if you throw over 92, it's just too fast for me. I'm not going to even lie. I would have loved to see if I could have kept hitting, but... You know, you got to pick a path at some point. Not everybody's Shohei. All right, so that's it for Bo Bichette. I want to show one more thing here. There was a sick play in the Mets game that kind of won the game for the guards. So let's see if we can go hop over on that. Guardians and Metropolitanos. Yeah, so the Guardians were in deep doo-doo. Hunter Gaddis was struggle bus in this game, and they had to go to Cade Smith. And he ends up making a sick play, but I don't think this is the play. There's a play with... It's Mullins hitting. Where's my guy Mullins? Yeah, this play right here. It's actually with Gaddis. He was on the struggle bus. But look at this play by Brian Rocchio. That's the winning run on third right there. Mets end up never getting a 6th run in this game. And you don't get a great view of this from this camera angle. But this ball's smoked. Well, guess not. But it hit right to the corner, but this is a full extension. Maybe we get a better view of this from the high home. All right, we're looking at Mr. Rocchio here. Yeah, it was a nice play. That was big. There was also a huge play where they didn't send somebody, and we have to see if that was a good call or not. Cleveland on the mound. Yeah, maybe it's right. Oh, yes. So Lindor ends up hitting this double.
Lindor rips one down the right field line. That's down for a base hit. Taylor on his way to third.
Nolan Jones comes firing it in. And Mike Sarbaugh, third base coach, ends up putting the brakes on Tyrone there at third. Now this run ends up not scoring, and this ends up costing the Mets the game. And Santana does drop the ball, but I want to know. Let's see if this was actually a good holdup at third by the third base coach, or whether he should have sent him, because these are really tough calls. It's hard to be a third base coach. All right, so Jones has the ball. The throw's already made as he's rounding third. Ball's not to Santana yet. Right there is where he would have caught it. So say he catches it clean. Say Santana catches it clean right here. Taylor's here. If he's full speed, he's probably a little further down. As you can see, he's got the hand up. Do we think that the ball can get to from there to here in the time to get? It's awfully close. It would have been an awfully close play. And considering Juan Soto's on deck, I actually do think this was a good hold. Now, you don't have the luxury of knowing that Santana's going to drop the ball, and Tyrone would have scored standing up. But man, it's a game of inches, and the decision there was really tough. Really, really tough for Sarby over there at third. Let's look at it in full speed again. Lindor hooks this ball, and now Taylor's off to the races here. Tough call. Tough call. Ends up burning him because this is how that inning ends up going. They intentionally walked Soto, and then this was a crazy at-bat where he just bullied Pete with fastballs. And I thought Pete was destined to hit the Mets franchise tying home run in this at-bat. I thought he was going granny here. I think the fans felt like he was going granny here. But Cade Smith simply has a different fastball.
And he foul tips it for strike 3.
And you know why it's different? It's because he's literally #1 in the game. 7.6 inches of extension, which makes this 97 pitch probably feel like it's 100. And he just doors this Pete here up top, up and away.
And he foul tips it for strike 3. 2 men down.
So Pete had a nice game. He did go 3-run homer earlier in the game to get within 1 of Strawberry. But that was a big strikeout because then McNeil ends up lining out here. And the Mets don't end up getting a run. So. A lot of close calls in this game. Ends up going all the way to the 9th. Edwin Diaz actually had a really crazy inning too, where his inability to hold runners almost came back to bite him. Rocchio singled, immediately stole second. The throw went into center. He goes to third, but then Sugar's able to bear down and go strikeout, pop out, strikeout. And then they don't lose it there. They're set up to win. They don't win it. Helsley comes in with the ghost runner. They find a way to score a run. I think it's on this sac fly right here by Gabriel Arias. He's been a thorn on the Mets side so far. As he hit that 3-run homer off Minaya in yesterday's game. There's the sacular fly.
Soto makes the catch.
And then this guy right here, Enright, who actually is a cancer survivor, came in and got the job done for his first career save, and the Mets fall again. So just really nothing's going right. They decide to make a good call to hold the runner, and of course that's when Santana drops the ball. They have it all set up with red-hot Pete Alonso coming up. He ends up striking out. McNeil is the guy you would want up 2 outs in that spot. He's going to put the ball in play, ends up lining right to the shortstop. I don't know, just a tough go for the New York teams right now. There's really nothing going right, and maybe we can see if they can start to turn around. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you guys think of these hats? Pretty simple. Baseball and coffee. Got a whole bunch of them. We can definitely do giveaways. We can send them out. Want to know if people will be interested in them. But my wife made them. Very simple. I think they're cool. And today's the first day where it's kind of cold enough in my office to rock it. So you'll be seeing a little bit more of these. Maybe we'll get official mugs or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But that's all we really got for today. Not a super compelling episode. It was decent. Some cool things to look at. I think that 2-strike approach stuff from Bichette was probably, to me, the most impactful lesson. If we were watching stuff from today, it's just you don't have to go huge swing all the time, but it's okay to have both. It's okay to have the go for the homer swing, and it's okay to have the put the ball in play swing. It's okay to do both. All right, pitching matchups for today. Logan Webb, Mike Burrows from Pittsburgh, Giants and Pirates. Minnesota, Zebby Matthews, and Chris Paddock. So Chris Paddock, his second start for the Tigers goes against his former team, the Twins. So that's always fun. You get traded, you immediately face your old team. Astros are a TBA versus the Marlins, the hot Marlins and Cal Quantrill. Got the A's and the Nats, Severino and Mackenzie Gore. This was an NL East matchup last year, these two pitchers. But now it's just sort of a kind of a strange nothing matchup. We got Dean Kremer and Taijuan Walker for the Phillies. Phillies are hot. If I'm Kremer, I'm thinking I got to be on my game today to face those Phillies. Burgett and Crochet. See if Crochet can keep rolling. I made the dumb statement that maybe he was tiring before the break. But at this point, they're pot committed. He's going to lead them all the way, or they're going to break him trying. He's definitely going to be going for it. See if Cora pushes him, how they push him. But Crochet's been filthy this year and been even more filthy since the break. See if the Red Sox can stay on their burner and win their 7th in a row from Fenway. Logan Allen and Clay Holmes. Mets need a starter to step up. Can it be Clay Holmes? I don't know. I'm not necessarily banking on it being Clay. He's pitched really well this year, but he's also he's in a new charted territory for his workload. Freddie Peralta and Joey Wentz, Braves. Brewers looking to extend that lead. They have a three-game lead on the Cubs. Speaking of the Cubs, they got Shota Imanaga on the mound today versus Zach Littell, who's now a Red. So this is a big series too. I mean, the Reds are trying to stay in their wild card race, and the Cubs now are trying to get back on top of the Brewers. Yankees and Rangers. The Yankees need to get back on top, and they go against one of the preeminent Yankee killers, Nathan Eovaldi, who was a Yankee for a little while. Then he went to the Red Sox. This is the type of guy. I mean, Nate is just so good, so tough. Nothing rattles him. Loves the big games. This is a big game for Texas and a big game for the Yankees. Will Warren, shown a lot, but he's also still sitting with not exactly the best run prevention. So this is going to be interesting to see how that matchup goes. I'll definitely be watching that. We got Berrios and Anthony Molina from the from Coors, so see if Toronto can keep scoring the way they were yesterday. Pepio and Soriano from Anaheim. Darvish and Ryan Nelson from the Desert in Arizona. Davis Martin, Brian Wu in Seattle. So Brian Wu back on the mound. He's awesome. Michaelis and Emmett Sheen for the Dodgers. Dodgers still spinning their tires. So those are the matchups today. Obviously, I'll be locked in on that Yankee game. I think I'm just so curious how they get out of this. How do they bounce out of this? Also, I mean, I need the Yankees to win. I need my chance at a World Series ring is completely relying on the Yankees. So I know that a lot of people are enjoying the Yankee downfall. I am not. I am not at all. Not to say that I'm rooting hardcore for them, but I am a little bit because I would like to win. All right, let's go to the chat here before we wrap it up because I got to go pick up my kid from camp in a minute. Yeah, people are feeling the hats. All right, that's good. Yeah, Warren Eovaldi matchup tonight, a vet versus a newbie. Yep, this is all new for Will Warren. Pitching deep into the season now, and bigger games where the team really needs you. Crochet was never a workhorse for the White Sox. That's exactly how I feel. I just feel like it's too much to ask for Crochet. At this point, and we've gone over his innings before, but let's see the status quo right now as I go over to the main screen. Crochet this year is at 141 and a third, which actually leads the league this year. And last year he threw 146 total, so he's less than 5 innings away from his imposed innings limit last year with the White Sox. And this is when the temperature gets hot. He's going to pitch another 10 starts, maybe. Yeah, maybe 10 more starts and push towards that leading 200 innings. So this is really the uncharted territory, but the Red Sox have no choice but to chase him, and they're paying him to be this guy anyway. So I know he's going to run through a wall for them. He's tough as nails. But yeah, let's see how he goes. Let's see how he finishes strong or doesn't finish strong. There's no exact science to this. The whole Strasburg shutdown. Type of deal, the jobber rules. I mean, people have tried to impose a lot of things, but I've always felt like, let your guy fly, talk to him, evaluate him week to week, see how he's doing, throw everything at him, make sure you have multiple trainers assigned to him, and just see what you can do. But I don't think you should go off necessarily innings, and I think there's a lot of other things that go into the mix when trying to decide if a guy's tiring or is at an injury risk or not. Can't wait to see what you have to say tomorrow. Of course I'm going live tomorrow. Actually, I'm supposed to go back out to camp, but I think I'll go live tomorrow. I'll find a way. About the Yankees Texas pitching tonight. So we'll see. We'll see if they're a fun game. Thanks for being in the chat. Yeah, Warren wouldn't be on the roster at all if it wasn't for the Yankee pitching injuries. Yeah, that's probably true. Probably true. I mean, obviously Garrett Cole would be in there. But we'll see. Oh yeah, Judge coming back tonight too. That's a good call. Judge is back, not playing the field. That does shake up the Yankee roster in a kind of an uncomfortable way. Maybe Stanton has to play the field or Stanton's on the bench. I don't know. Curious to see how they make out the lineup tonight. That's a big deal. That just got me thinking. Let me look at Nasty Nate for a second versus batters. See if there's a way I can quickly see player number 1. So actually, it's crazy. He's got 51 plate appearances versus DJ LeMahieu for most ever. Yes, you are correct. Aaron Judge does own Nathan Eovaldi. Good call, Ray. 1,000 OPS, 2 homers. He's 12 for 34. Only 8 strikeouts, 4 walks. So he's got 353 average, 421 on base. So that is a little bit of ownage. But I would like to go to Eovaldi's career splits versus the Yankees. These are fun to look at if you've never looked at them on Baseball Reference. They are really, really, really fun. Let's see here. Versus opponent, New York Yankees. He has made 23 games, 20 starts with a 3.44. Excellent. He's been really, really good. With a 1.13 whip. So yeah, Eovaldi, no stranger at facing the Yanks. He's done a very, very nice job throughout his career. Boone already said no Stanton in the field in Texas. Too big of a field to play. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, like the turf. I wouldn't want Big G running around on the turf. It's crazy how delicate you have to treat him sometimes, but I wouldn't want to run around on the turf. Goldie leading off is a good look. They had him leading off in the beginning of the season. I mean, yeah, Goldie's going to give you a great at-bat. Great at-bat every time. So this is where I think a manager can really make his impact. Can really, really, really make his impact. Team's kind of struggling. They need a little bit of a change. They need to really design that lineup smartly. You got several months of data to look at. So Boone's got to pull the right strings, and the boys have to come through for him as the Yankees look to turn it around here. And with that being said, that's gonna make I'm gonna make my exit. I gotta go get in the car. I will be on SNY tonight. This is my last night on SNY, doing baseball night in New York with the boys over there. It's been fun. And then in a couple weeks, you'll see me on Yes Network doing pre and post game for Yankees. I think on the 19th and the 20th. So looking forward to that. And you can join me every day, pretty much every damn day, on Baseball and Coffee here in the morning. So thanks so much, and have a great day, everybody.